ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the best sports show in Kansas City. This is Any Given Sunday on KUAW Radio, where sports come alive. Join your hosts, the awesome voice, and Coach 24 as they dive into the latest sports news, analysis, and excitement. From the biggest games to the most thrilling moments, they've got it all covered. So sit back, relax, and get ready for an hour of unbeatable sports action. This is Any Given Sunday on KUAW Radio.
Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Weekend Eve. This is Any Given Sunday on KUAW. I am Brian Kress, the awesome voice. Coach 24, Darwin Penny, my brother with another mother, is out in the Dominican Republic trying to get some of those great baseball players down there so they can bring them up to the Royals farm system and for the Royals, because today was just a frustrating day for the Royals. But anyway, he does a fabulous job. He is out there, and he will be there for a while. So we may not get him for the rest of this month. So anyway, and running the show behind the scenes, DJ Scatter, Mr. George Walker. And for the time being, he just stepped away from his microphone. So when he comes back in, I will ask him how he's doing. And so we've got the Central Midwest Football League, and tonight we do not have any coaches, any players, or any contributors to come on the show tonight. Instead, we will have Nasir Clinton and his father, Fletcher Clinton. Now, Fletcher Clinton is a.k.a. Rip Ruger, and Nasir Clinton is a.k.a. Daddy-O. And Daddy-O just had a boxing match this past weekend, and he fought a guy named Cesar Rivera for the second time, and I believe he is from Des Moines. And anyway, they are two Silver Gloves champions, and so national champions. So he fought him this weekend, and we are bringing him on because he's got big plans coming up the next couple of weekends. So I am definitely looking forward to that. So saying that, we'll go into the Central Midwest Football League, the CMFL. So last week's games, they had some really great games. They had one in Oklahoma, and they had one in St. Louis. And the one in St. Louis had the Missouri Cyclones, who were the 6th-ranked team at that time, versus the Falcons, the St. Louis Falcons, who were the 3rd-ranked team. And the Cyclones edged out the Falcons by the score of 15-14. And with that, it allowed the Kansas City Panthers, who had a forfeit. Unfortunately, a team dropped out, so that team was supposed to play the Panthers, and instead they received a 13-0 forfeit win. And I'm going to stop for a second. And in the studio now, and as he runs the show, Mr. DJ Scatter, George Walker. Mr. Walker, how are you doing this evening?
Well, I'm doing just fine and glad to be here. I was out checking to see. But, yeah, I'm here, and it's going to be a great day.
Absolutely, it is. So, excuse me. So to continue on with the Panthers. So the Panthers they won 13-0. That is what a forfeit game is, the score of a forfeit game. So now you're saying, now how did the Panthers get this? You know, they've got an advantage. No, every team in the Gateway Conference will end up playing the Central Illinois Cougars. That's the team that folded, and they will also receive a 13-0 forfeit win over them. So Every team is, or at least in the Gateway Conference, will receive one. So there's no advantage for any team. Now, saying this, the Kansas City Panthers are now in first place. They are the only undefeated team in the Gateway Conference. They are 7-0 and 5-0 as the regular season, because they did play two other so-called exhibition games. But the 5-0, they are the only undefeated team in the division, and now they go to St. Louis and play the Falcons. So, the Panthers won their first regular season game against the Cyclones, and the Cyclones were the runners-up last year in the championship game. So they they were coming in, and the Panthers took care of business 14-8, and won the game. And so they have that advantage over the Cyclones. So now they go to St. Louis. If they go to St. Louis and they defeat the St. Louis Falcons, the Kansas City Panthers will have the greatest chance of winning the Gateway Conference, and will have the number one seed, and will have the great opportunity to make it to the championship game. So now I'm going to stop what I'm doing, because the guest host, how you doing, sir? So we've got in studio Nasir Clinton, who is a.k.a. Daddy-O, and then we have Fletcher Clinton, who is a.k.a. Rip Ruger. And they have the boss, Rachel Clinton, and she is here in the background supporting her two lovely men. And Nasir is the two-time Silver Gloves champion. So, gentlemen, how are you guys doing this evening?
I'm feeling great, great.
We blessed, man. Blessed by the best and praying for the rest, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And I greatly appreciate you guys coming in tonight, because I know that you have an extremely busy schedule. So the fact that you could make time for us for our show, it was really awesome. So now, saying this, I was there Saturday at your boxing match.
Yes,
so I'm gonna talk a little bit about that. But first, I want you to tell everybody a little bit about yourself. When did you start boxing and all that?
My name's Nasir Clinton. Ain't really too much about me. I just box. I started like 8 years ago. Yeah, I started 8 years ago. It's been a long journey, but yeah.
Absolutely. And Rip?
Hey, hey, man, God is perfect with timing. He's done a lot of different sports, growing up, but he decided that he wanted to take on boxing full time, and here we are with it. I mean, it's like we still got a lot of learning to do. I see that. We're not going to use your platform to act like we're just like big superstars in this game. It's hitters out here, man. I mean, once you get to looking at it nationwide, and like right now, we been training for the past few months, and we had like a little test match, which happened to be a rematch from about like a year and a half ago. And we just, basically like trying to fine tune some things, man. We got like a week and a half left, and then, we on to like one of the biggest parts of the journey with another national tournament, and see how we fare out. So, everything is, God is perfect with timing, man. And we just having a good run right now. We having a pretty good run right now. He started out with the the local, then state, then region. Went on to fight at National Silver Gloves in February. That's how we started the year off, and the 6 fights, 6 victories. You know what I'm saying?
Wasn't that the one that was over in Independence?
Yes, sir, it is.
So right next to Big Lots and all the
Right there beside Bass Pro Shop.
right
At the Stony
Big-
Creek
yeah,
Hotel. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
Bass Pro Shop.
They give us a platform to display our talent by having a national tournament here. That Silver Gloves is always held here every year, and it just happened to fall in our hands this year. So he worked hard, though. He worked hard for it, and I applaud him. But like I said, we still got some work to do, man. He's still developing right now. We got a little bit of work to do, but we're willing to do it.
Okay, so I am going to go back a little bit. So what made you want to do boxing?
Okay. Firstly, it started out with my dad because he used to watch it a lot. He used to watch it a lot, so I used to sit up with him and watch it. You know what I'm saying? And I just started to like it because I seen that he liked it, so I was like, all right, really, you know what I'm saying? Kids, like boys, wanting to like make their father proud and stuff. So I was like, yeah, like I want to try it. And he was like, nah, I ain't really about it for real, but I used to get beat up a lot. But I still came back to the gym because I wanted to show him that like I really wanted to do it. And then my big brother Austin, he started off boxing too. He used to like on the side of the house have like a bag hung up on a tree, rope, he'll roll up under it and stuff. And I was just like, I seen him do it, so I just followed in behind him. You know what I'm saying? It was extra work though, but yeah, I just started following behind him too, and he would give me pointers and stuff on it. So that's really how I started as well.
Gotcha. So you've actually been doing this half your life because you just turned 16 years old in March.
Yes, sir.
Now, saying this, from the first time that you started boxing till now, what have you learned the most in boxing?
It's kind of hard to say because I've learned a lot. I've learned actually a lot. Like, because we don't just like focus on one particular thing. We like going around and getting different looks from everything.
Okay, so and I know it's different from being an 8-year-old to a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
So like at 8 years old, you were bouting with other kids your age and stuff. So what was your mindset when you were fighting?
Win. But I can say when you're in the ring, like a lot of people ask me this question too. They're like what do you be thinking about when you're in the ring? You really just don't be thinking about nothing. You're just like, it's more like calculating. So you're just trying to like figure out what's going on and who's gonna, like, you know what I'm saying, what punch you're gonna throw and stuff like that. So it's really like a blank mind situation.
Absolutely. So now, you get into it. Now, is 2021 the first year that you won a national title? So in 2021, you were the Junior Olympics champion.
Yes, sir.
So now you're getting ready to have a match out in Wichita, and then you're going to go to Vegas. Now, is Vegas another Junior Olympic event?
Yes, sir.
And how long is that?
It's a week. It's gonna be. What is it? When is it? It's like the 14th.
From what I saw,
It's
from the 14th
through the 21st.
Yes, sir. Yeah, 14th to the 21st.
And keep
So
in
we-
mind, though, the fight in Wichita, he got scratched because the opponent backed out. So we won't be going to Wichita this weekend, but we definitely will be training. It's just giving us more opportunity to train before we leave.
Gotcha. So was this bout in Wichita, was this just you versus somebody, or was it a group of?
It was just me versus somebody one-on-one. Yeah.
Okay, so now you can at least concentrate on your workouts and your training as you get going. Now, saying this, you were fighting on Saturday. You fought Cesar Rivera.
Yes, sir.
This was your second time, and he is a champion too.
Yes, sir.
Just like you. So, tell us a little bit about your bout that you had with him.
It was a pretty good bout overall, but we both had our moments where we would kind of be like a little dirty. It was very competitive bout. It was a very competitive bout.
Well, and then keep going. So talk about it. So what happened? Yeah, I heard that that he did some headbutting and
Yeah, he started headbutting me. It kind of put me in a mode where I was getting a little frustrated, which I shouldn't have. I should have stayed composed, but it kind of got me in a mood where I was getting frustrated, and I was doing things back as far as like I like push his head down when he came in with his head down, like I push it down, or when I like spinned around. And he was holding my glove, and I hit him in the back. Well, they said I hit him in the back, but I hit him in the side. But like it was still dirty, and I could have got disqualified.
Was that
for
the
it.
one where he kind of set you aside for?
Yeah, yes sir, yes sir.
Moment? So, but saying that, I believe you won the first 2 rounds, correct?
Yes
Clearly.
sir.
So what happened in the 3rd round?
I say I say I didn't come out in the 3rd round with my mind on straight because I was still frustrated because his people and from his crowd were talking and like it was, and then me and him was going back and forth, not like speaking, but like, you know what I'm saying, as far as like the dirtiness and stuff in the fight. So I kind of just like was out of whack a little bit, and I wasn't really focused going into the 3rd round, so it kind of had some slip ups in it.
So when you have a match, does the people outside the ring, outside your trainers, you know, that are in your corner that are trying to tell you what you need to do, does the audience affect you, or are you able to focus them out? Because as you were saying, you heard a few times somebody saying something, or
I'm gonna be completely honest. It to a certain point. Sometimes it just depends on what's going on. Like if I like hear like sometimes people say stuff like that's really really bad, that kind of like ticks me off. So I kind of like look at them or like do something. But yeah, most of the like sometimes what people say in the crowd could affect me because I'm listening to it and it kind of like throws me off. So.
And those are things that we're really working on too. I believe once we get him grounded spiritually and mentally, you know what I mean, things that occur like that, it won't bother him as much. And I mean, it's been like that for a while because it's just like when you're in that ring, the only people that you're supposed to be listening to is your corner.
right?
I mean, like, if I'm not working this corner, he don't even need to be listening to me. He needs to be listening to Lalo Robles, which is his coach.
Now, were you? I can't remember. Were you in his corner?
Yes.
Now, I know you were in the corner for the other
As an
guys.
assistant, everywhere I've been since I've been in the game,
Gotcha.
I've been an assistant. I've never been a head coach, even though I've learned from the coaches that I've been with him. I'm learning as he learns, but you know what I'm saying, we both know enough now to where, like, if he didn't have a head coach in his corner and it's just me and him because we've done it before.
Right.
Like, say for instance, we're going to Las Vegas and our head coach won't be there. It's just going to be me and him. This is where we figure out things. This is where he find out what he really knows and where his heart is and where his mind is. And I'm praying on it heavily that we get there and he can like block out a lot of things and just mainly like lock in and, let's go and shake up the world, man. And let's just show him like, you are Nasir Clinton, because that's what we're fighting for. He's fighting for his last name. We don't care nothing about no wins. We don't care nothing about no losses. A lot of the people, they be like, oh, this is about the kids. This is about the kids. And then they forget that these kids, they still developing, man. You know what I'm saying? Right. They're not going to win every fight. They're not going to lose every fight. And, they judge it upon how they feel and what they want. Once the fights start, and I could truly say this, and you know what I'm saying, this is without going below the belt. A lot of these coaches, and I'm speaking mainly on this area because this is where we fight out of. I mean, all of that stuff goes out of the window, man, because, you know what I'm saying, and I get it because they coaches and they want to win, but what they fail to realize is that here's a child that's still developing, that's still learning. You can't take this amateur record into the pro. I don't care if we lose 99 fights. If we still keep coming back and we still keep developing and learning, that's what matters. So like win. That's what football, basketball, anything. You know what I'm saying? These coaches, they get so bottled up in wanting to live through these kids, you know what I'm saying, to where they forget their job, which is to help this child develop.
Right.
You know, and everywhere we go, we end up running into certain problems. And I respect every coach we've ever been with, but you know what I'm saying, at the same time, they have to respect me and his mom as his parents, you know what I mean? Because it's just like he's already spending the majority of his childhood, you know what I mean, chasing a dream.
Right.
So like I'm not building my man up to, you know what I'm saying, to be crumbled or broken down by nobody. So I seem to clash a lot, and a lot of coaches feel like, well, you know what I'm saying, you weren't giving me, you know what I'm saying, 100% this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? I always respected him as a coach, but at the same time, you know, when quote unquote they favorites cry or they whine about something, it's because they passionate about the game. But when he was doing it, because, you know what I'm saying, we wasn't a father-son. We're a father-son team at the end of the day. I'm his father first, I'm a fan second. But when he does it, when he's under the, you know what I'm saying, when he's under the mentorship of another coach, they looking at it like, oh, you're supposed to be the head guy here. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's looking up to you. If you cry, that's going to make everybody else weak. No, he's passionate about, okay, what about him being passionate about the game too?
Right, absolutely.
So-
So now you guys have a good relationship, and I know that there's sometimes that the son or the young child and the parent sometimes butt heads. How often do you see that in boxing, whether it's in your little gym or as it was at the Cleveland University out in Overland Park?
It's very seldom that you see, like I said, I was just trying to explain that to you. It's very seldom that you see like the father-son or father-daughter thing, you know what I'm saying, get out of hand, you know, because they would what they would say, criticize them or chastise them, like, you know what I'm saying, because they're upset at the moment, but then they'll go back afterwards and be like, hey, you know what I'm saying, this is why, you know what I'm saying, this, that, and other, but we're going to have to change that, this, that, and other. But when it comes to somebody outside of, you know what I'm saying, well, like I said, one of their favorites or their child, then it's a problem, you know what I'm saying, like, they don't ever come back and, you know what I'm saying, kiss his forehead for doing right, you know what I'm saying? They quick to get on him when he do wrong, but then, you know what I'm saying, they don't kiss his forehead or, you know what I'm saying, tell him like, hey, you know what I'm saying, hey man, this is what it is, I understand, whoop, whoop this, whoop, whoop that. They just, you know what I'm saying, hop off into criticizing, and that could break a child down. And the reason why I'm speaking up on this, because I'm going to use this platform to say it, is because once we really step back and we look at the fact that the mental aspect of it, you know what I'm saying, we have to, you know what I'm saying, okay, everybody wants their child to be protected, but you know what I'm saying, not just physically. You got to protect them mentally. You got to protect them emotionally. You have to protect them spiritually. You know what I mean? So after a while, you get to the point where it's just like you're almost pushed off into being like a father and son team, because it's just like everybody's going to basically, and this is what I've learned since I've been in the game, because I built brotherhoods with people, and you know what I'm saying, it was shattered. You know what I'm saying? I was like people that I thought really cared about us, and then it was shattered, but then when you speak up about it, it's a problem, and then you get, you know what I'm saying, pushed away. So, I mean, you know, I just pray up on situations now, and I just let God lead the way, because like God worked for all of us, don't get me wrong. The devil even got an answer to him before anything happens.
Exactly.
But like, you know, when I pray up on the situation, you know what I'm saying, even though I feel like we've been wronged in certain situations, I pray for those people too. And I still, to this day, you know what I'm saying, have love for them and I respect them. But, you know, at the end of the day, we have to, I have to, me, my wife, we have to make sure that, you know, we, you know what I'm saying, protecting him in the same way that everybody who's want to protect their child and stand up for their child. And, you know what I'm saying, sometimes you might run into like a little problem because everybody so ego built around here, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like gyms around here, they don't even really, you know what I'm saying, they don't even really work together. You know what I'm saying? If you go to this gym and then you decide that you want to go over here and get some work, or, get a different look at this, that, and the other, it seems like it becomes a problem, as opposed to like the gyms working together. You know how many champions could be brought up out of Kansas City if all these gyms work together instead of trying to be the gym or the coach? You know what I mean?
Right. So these gyms, there's I don't know how many there is in the city. I imagine there's at least 2 or 3 of them.
No, it's more.
Oh, so
Good gyms too. All of these gyms around here are good, and all of these coaches are good.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying, they have boundaries. You know what I'm saying, they certain. It's just.
Is there like an unwritten rule, or is it just something that needs to be actually out there to say, hey, you can't do this?
It just needs to be about these kids.
Right. Absolutely.
Bottom line.
Right. And I totally
Practice what you preach. If it's about these kids, you wouldn't care who walked in your gym.
Right.
You wouldn't care who walked out. If they decided that they wanted to go somewhere else, okay, fine. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. I love you. I'll see you around. You know what I'm saying? This is Kansas City. This is Kansas City boxing.
Right.
You feel me? This ain't, you know what I'm saying, like Kansas City. It shouldn't be Kansas City versus Kansas City.
Right.
By no means whatsoever. But as I surface through this journey with my son, and this is about him, and I'm gonna shut up. But we're having a good time. God has been blessing us lately. You know what I'm saying? We accept that every victory is his, not ours. And we're just going to keep pushing. Like, win, lose, or draw, man. We're just going to keep pushing, man. You know what I'm saying? That's all we can do. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to give up. We don't care who love us, who don't. We don't think about that, because at the end of the day, in the Clinton household, we love each other.
Right.
And that's all that matters. And, you know what I'm saying, we're going to continue to stand in behind Champ no matter what.
Absolutely. And I like that. And with this, we are at halftime on Any Given Sunday on KUAW. We're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we will talk more about it. We will talk. I'm gonna pimp you guys out for help these guys out with a Cash App and a Venmo for him to go to Vegas so he can be able to perform at his best. So we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the best sports show in Kansas City. This is Any Given Sunday on KUAW.
All right.
All right, we're back for the second half of Any Given Sunday on KUAW. Brian Kress, the Awesome Boys, DJ Scatter, George Walker, Coach 24, Darwin Penny, and we have guests, Nasir Clinton and Fletcher Clinton, Rip Ruger, and Daddy-O. So, and the boss, Miss Clinton, who is sitting on the side. But so I want to ask Mom a question real quick. So when you are seeing this and, you're wanting to make sure everything's on the up and up, and then sometimes things can get a little shady, how do you react to it? Do you jump in there, or are you okay with the process of letting them handle it?
No. I always call it CPS in my kid. I don't let nobody CPS me with my kid. I'm my kid's parent. I'm always going to be his protector. I'm always going to make sure that everything is supposed to go the way that it goes. You can't, I won't put him in harm's way. And a lot of people, some people respect that about me, and some people be like, oh my God, here she comes. No. Because if you allow that to happen, they take advantage of certain situations. We are our children's voices. And I'm a big advocate behind that when it comes to my children. And everyone knows that.
Very big.
Oh, absolutely. And
Huge.
And absolutely, you should do that. Now, I get that there are sometimes parents that go overboard, because the parent's responsibility is to protect your child.
Right.
And sometimes they go overboard with everything that's going on, like my kid doesn't do anything wrong, which I've always like, look, I don't care how great of a kid you are, you're going to make mistakes. So you're not perfect. So don't turn around and convince me that your child can walk on water, because that doesn't work. But at the same time, you want everybody to know that, hey, look, there's things going on, but do not push me, push over that limit and think you can try to take advantage, because and I'm not saying there's any shady deals going on, but you never know. And that's the one thing that you really need to protect them from is stuff like that. So,
she's gotten better over the years, because she was one of those parents that used to get out of whack. But it wasn't just for our child though.
Right.
It could be somebody that, you know what I'm saying, truly she didn't get along with. But if their child was in a situation where any type of adult would have gotten a situation, she would stand up for that child, even though she knew that the child's mother or father really didn't care too much for her. She wasn't gonna let nobody mess over none of these kids, not him, not no kids on the team, not no kid that we didn't know. You know what I'm saying? You're an adult, stay in an adult's place. You know what I'm saying? Leave this kid alone. She would hop off in somebody else's business, but I've prayed over her too.
Right. Now, how often
we've calmed down
does
a lot.
that stuff happen? Does it happen a lot? Does it happen a little?
It's crazy. It
It
happens quite often. Yeah.
You would see some people's parents get mad because their child lost, or another kid was they're on their team, and it's well, man, he beat him up, and then a parent will turn around and get in that kid's face. You can't do that. If you have a problem with something, you address the parent. You don't address nobody's kid, because that'll get you killed out here. Everybody is here to protect their children, and you just can't do that.
Well, and you're in an environment where it's a controlled, violent statement, because boxing is you're punching somebody else.
Yeah.
And so you're trying to keep it from being, to go overboard with that. So
because at these fights, it's because some of the fights, they, when you go to the pro fights or Golden Glove, stuff like that, these venues, they're licensed to sell liquor. Now on top of that, now look at that. You're in a boxing environment. You have coaches that used to box. You have parents that feel like they can fight, you know what I'm saying, even though it's a different type of
Right,
fight, you know what I'm
right.
saying, the majority of them are street fighters, but some of those parents were fighters too. So everybody in there think they can box.
Right.
And then on top of that, they got liquor in their system. So,
Right.
you know, sometimes you just got to be careful. You know, at the end of the day, you know, we all try to keep it cordial with each other, but, you know what I'm saying, the Kansas City boxing scene is, you know, for the foremost, it has its ups and downs. I'll
Right.
just say that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to disrespect nobody, but at the same time, I'm going to give credit where credit is due. We, as a boxing nation here in Kansas City, we got a lot to work on. I just feel like we need to work together.
So let's ask the young man. So how do you see things as you have grown up? Because now you are, as they say, sweet 16. You're now 16 years old. You are old enough to drive. I don't know if you have a license or not, but you're old enough to drive. You know, from 8 years old to 16 years old, how do you see all this going around you?
I'll say from when I started to now, I feel like things have been moving pretty fast. It ain't really been slow, but things been moving pretty fast. There's a lot going on. Lots of changes happening. Cause you know what I'm saying, I'm becoming a young man, so it's a lot. It's a lot of changes and stuff, but nothing too much, nothing too really.
So how much has your goals changed from being 8 years old to now 16 years old?
When I was 8, the only thing like when I first started boxing, it was just like it's just because I wanted to fight. Like it's just because I wanted to fight. I just wanted to punch somebody. But as I got older, and I started like learning more about the game and like what comes with it and what comes behind it, like earnings and stuff like that. As far as such, I started to like set goals for myself and wanting to be big. Like probably say like after my first national tournament, that's when I like kind of figured out things were really serious with boxing. Cause like at first like I was just doing smokers like locals and stuff like around Kansas City and stuff like that, and it wasn't really, you know what I'm saying, too much. But like once I got in my first national tournament and got to experience kids from different states and different styles and different levels of boxing, that's when I kind of like knew like, hey, this is actually serious. So that's when I started kind of taking it a little bit more serious, because like, hey, I want to be one of those kids that people talk about like, hey, that's him, you know what I'm saying? Like there
Right,
goes Nasir,
right.
you know? So that's when I just really started setting goals for myself and wanted to become more at the sport, you know what I'm saying?
So like when you won your first bout, how did you react?
I was excited. 8-year-old me was excited. I was like, shoot, I just beat somebody up. I was like, shoot, like I low-key thought I was the stuff after that.
So then you go to 2021. You win the Junior Olympics. How was your reaction to that?
Low key, it was. I kind of say my reaction in the moment, because my reaction in the moment was I was kind of upset. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little upset because the kid that I was supposed to fight for like the national title was like, he came in overweight. He wasn't really, so like they kind of just handed it to me. So I was kind of upset about that, because I wanted to show everybody that I could earn it by winning and displaying my skills and stuff. So I wanted everybody to know like who I was in the moment to become a national champion. So I was just a little bbit upset, but then after I was like, still I'm a national champion. So I got happy.
So did a lot of people kind of dish you like, yeah, whatever, you know, it's kind of like a football game. You win a forfeit and you're like, you still ain't that good?
Probably and probably not, but I felt like that was going on, you know, because I was like other kids in the bracket, like, he's probably not really even that good though, because like he just got a walkover. So that's what I meant by like I wanted to display my skills to let other people know like I'm that guy, you know?
Right.
So
absolutely. So now you turned around, you've won 2 Silver Glove championships.
is there?
So what's the difference between winning the Silver Gloves championship and the Junior Olympics championship?
Silver Gloves, I kind of say that's kind of just like more of a local thing, you know. It's not really that big of a deal, but it's a tournament, so you know what I'm saying. You still get props for winning that, but like big tournaments like Junior Olympics and Nationals, that's like where like everybody tries to come, like everybody. Like there's even at some like tournaments, there'll be pro fighters there, like big names. Like I took pictures with like Terrence Burkhoffer because I met him at a tournament. So I'll just say like the difference between it is like not skill levels, but it's just a different scenery. One's like more bigger than the other one. So
is there a boxer that you have on your list that you would like to challenge and defeat?
I'll just say I don't run from nobody. I don't run from nobody. But nah, I ain't really no big names, but the kids on my bracket So them the only people I'm worried about right now.
Have you not fought with any of them, or have you fought all of them?
I'll say mostly kids that haven't fought, but one of the kids we kind of like grew up together within like tournaments and stuff, and we sparred a lot. But you know what I'm saying, we can be friends after the tournament. You know what I'm saying? So it's time to handle business.
Now, do you normally acquire friendships with these guys, or do you kind of like stay away from them? Are you kind of like Maverick and Iceman, or are you like Goose and Maverick?
Nah. When we're at tournaments and like, you know what I'm saying, because like when you're at a tournament, you're going to talk to people, you're going to get to know people, because you have to get connections. So like when you go to different states or something to fight or something, you got to have connections so where you could train and stuff like that. But you know what I'm saying, like none of the fighters hold grudges against each other. We all try to, you know what I'm saying, be cool with each other, have friendships. Like when we're out of town, fighters from different states, like we'll invite to Airbnb or we'll hang out, have sleepovers and stuff. But like, you know what I'm saying, but when it's time to fight, like we all lock in and we all handle business. So it's really more like it's a good thing.
Oh, absolutely. I like that, because because you don't know. A lot of times you could be, there could be this one kid that you just totally just have an issue with.
Yeah.
And, you guys never gotten along, and, when you try to settle it out on the mat, you
I feel like well, not just like me, but I feel like as far as any fighter, if you hold a grudge with somebody and y'all fight and whoever wins, you know what I'm saying, wins that, I just say let it be over. Like, be cool after that, because you know what I'm saying, y'all truly like showed who was, you know what I'm saying, better in the situation, and y'all got it over with, so you might as well just let the grudge go at that point.
So do the parents and the coaches have to kind of keep an eye on you guys, or do you guys police your own stuff?
Nah, yeah, we police our own stuff. There might be a little bit of trash talking here and there, but it's really nothing more than that. You know what I'm saying? We'll like at tournaments, like we'll get a group of people and we'll have them, like, we'll find their opponent or something, we'll make them face off and just record it. Like, we just have fun. It's just fun experience, but it's serious too. So
as serious as you are accomplishing your goals and stuff, how fun is it to be boxing?
Oh, it's amazing. Sometimes, I ain't gonna lie, sometimes it get hard. I feel like any fighter can you know what I'm saying, relate to this. Like, most of the days, like, you're like, hey bro, I'm not trying to go to the gym. We're like, hey, I don't want to run, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. But like, you know what I'm saying, you gotta look for the bright side of it, because you know what I'm saying, you know what you doing. And if you're not doing something, you know your opponent's going to be doing it. So, like, you know what I'm saying, most days when I do feel like that, I kind of, like, feel guilty. So I'll be like, nah, I got to get up and do it. Because, like, I just start feeling guilty because I'm like, I know he doing this, so I got to do it too.
Well, I was about ready to ask you, on the days that you're pumped up, you don't need no motivation. But on the days that you're just like, I want to stay in bed, I don't want to do nothing, what do you have to do to get that motivation up? Do you need dad to come in and say, no, son, you need to go?
Nah. I ain't gonna lie, I used to. Yeah, I used to. I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I used to. But like now at this point, because I'm at that age, like, I'm starting to need to do things on my own because I'm becoming a young man. So really, like, nowadays, nah, not really. Like, to get my motivation up in those situations, like I said, I'll be sitting there feeling guilty, like, bro, I don't feel like doing this, I don't want to do it. But then I think, I'm like, bro, I know my opponent's doing it, and I don't want to, like, it's that situation, like, you know what I'm saying, you don't want nobody to be better than you, so you just like, hey, you know what I'm saying, even though I don't like it, right, I'm gonna get up and do it. But like, once you get in the moment, you know what I'm saying, you are doing it, it kind of like just fades away, like the part where you don't want to do it just fades away, and you're just like, hey, I'm doing it, you know what I'm saying, we're good. So
what is your ultimate goal in boxing?
My ultimate goal in boxing. Ultimate goal in boxing is to become a world champion, at least. But I want to do it before the age of 27. Because by the time I turn 27, I'm trying to retire. Because I want to live my life. I don't want to just keep taking shots to the brain and stuff. You know what I'm saying? By the time I'm 27, yes, I want to retire. But my overall goal is become a world champion and be good at it.
Absolutely. So, outside of boxing, what would you like to do?
Outside of boxing?
What is your goals? Do you know what you want to do yet, or right now is it just all boxing?
Me and my mom talk about this a lot. Not just boxing, but like I was saying, like I would want to go to college to be like an X-ray technician because I heard they make good money. You know what I'm saying? This is how life works, money. So yeah, I probably want to be like an X-ray technician. So, but if that don't work, like real estate agent. If not that, I would just become a coach, become a boxing coach. So.
Well, I will say it's amazing how much sometimes things change as you get older.
Yeah.
Because you see it from a different perspective. So, like, when your dad and your mom are telling you something and you're like, yeah, Mom, yeah, Dad. But then later on, and I always have this saying that from Mark Twain, when I was a boy of 14, my father was so ignorant I could hardly stand to be around the man. When I became a man of 21, it was amazing how much he learned.
Yeah, that's why I was like, that's why now I try to listen to my elders way more because you know what I'm saying I'm hearing from their experiences like, hey, I didn't listen when this situation happened and kind of ended me up here. So I try my best to listen. But you know what I'm saying, that teenage thing where you're like, sometimes it's like, you know what I'm saying, brushing off like, nah, I don't want to listen. Like I can make something different out of it or like I can find my own way out of the situation. But most of the time I try to listen and learn from their past mistakes so I won't end up doing the same thing because, you know what I'm saying, my father's goal is for me just to be better than he was, you know what I'm saying? So I want to, you know what I'm saying, give my props to him by doing that.
Absolutely. And as a father myself, all fathers and all mothers always want their kids to be better. They could be Patrick Mahomes, they could be a billionaire and all this, but they will still want their kids to be better than what they were.
Yeah, my truly my overall goal is I'd like to get out of this whole thing that I would like to get out of this whole thing is just making sure, like, you know what I'm saying, my people right here and like most of my family, people that root for me and stuff is just set straight. All right, so like he doesn't have to keep waking up early in the morning to go to work and having to like, as soon as he get home from work, he's picking me up to go to the gym and stuff. So, you know what I'm saying, I want to make sure and my mom is at home cooking, so like, you know what I'm saying, I just want to get them away from that 9 to 5 thing and let them chill and like be at peace, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. So, saying this, talking about funds, you want to make sure that you could use a little bit of assistance.
Yes, sir.
People helping out. So, you have a Cash App. So, explain to the people what your Cash App is so people can get in there.
That's his Cash App. I don't even know his Cash App.
Do you want me to say it? I can talk about.
I mean,
Okay,
you can let them know because we trying to get to the gym, so we got to go to the gym right now, so we can get a little sparring in.
I get that. So we've got 8 more minutes left. So, so if anybody would like to help them, help Nasir, Daddy-O, with some, helping out because going to Vegas is expensive.
Yeah.
So the Cash App
tournaments
is
get very expensive.
$RIP Bucks, and that is the cash sign, the $RIP BUCKZ, or you can do Venmo with at Fletcher FLETHER dash Clinton CLINTON. So if you guys want to help out, that it would be greatly appreciated. And I've actually known you guys about 5 years now.
Yep.
So I mean, you've been on the show a couple of times. And
you always give us a cool little platform to come in here and say what's going on and how we doing, man. We appreciate you for that too.
A lot.
Absolutely.
We really appreciate you coming through and supporting the fight Saturday. We really do.
You know what?
That's
that was the
pretty cool.
one thing. So I knew that when you had the one in February, and I don't know exactly what I was doing, but I ended up missing it, and I was so mad because I live in Blue Springs. You know, you
Yeah.
guys live in Blue Springs. I live in Blue Springs. It's 10 minutes.
Right.
And I'm like, what was I doing that was so doggone important that I couldn't be there? So I was mad. So when I saw this, excuse me. So when I saw this, I said, no, I am going. I am going to make it, and I'm going to surprise him. So
Yeah, it was
absolutely.
a surprise. Definitely.
Next time, we'll make sure Mr. Walker gets invited and
Yep.
he comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, he's
Hey,
like,
make sure Penny come too, man. Penny don't like do you like boxing?
I, you know what? I do not know if he likes
Yeah,
boxing
man. Make
or
sure
not.
make sure
I know he
Penny
loves the
come through there.
Cowboys. So, but you know, if I can get a chance with him,
Cowboys, wow.
he is so busy. Like right now, he's in the Dominican Republic right now.
Oh, yeah, he
He's a
having
scout
fun.
for the Royals, so he is busy. So I mean, I won't even see him probably until after the season. So.
When you talk to him, tell him we said hi, man.
I will do that. I
We
will
missed him
definitely-
this go-around.
I just texted. You know, we were texting last night, and you know, I was using the WhatsApp because he's out of
He's
the
in
country,
Dominican Republic,
and
yeah.
they say it's a much easier to do that than to use.
Yeah, I have
you
a
know,
friend
just
that
a
I have
regular text.
Yeah, I have a friend that lives in Africa, and we communicate through WhatsApp all of the time.
Right.
He called me. He sent pictures, videos.
Right. So actually, he was on. I saw him on Instagram. There was a picture of him in Dominican Republic, and I believe the last time he was there, which was I believe last year, he sent pictures of like there was like clubhouses, you know, for the baseball that had like Kansas City Royals stuff and everything, and I was like, oh wow, that is so cool.
Yeah.
So I saw all that. So definitely, and I will definitely tell him that you guys said hello. So
And one more thing before we go.
Yes.
We appreciate you. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? We really do, Brian. And at the same time, even if people do feel like they want to help donate so that, you know what I'm saying, this will be an easier trip for us or whatnot, that will be fine and dandy. But most first and foremost, we just ask that who's ever watching, whoever hear this, we just ask, if nothing else, just keep us, you know, in their prayers or whatnot.
right, absolutely.
And ask God to protect us, you know, while we out there. And, you know what I'm saying, hopefully we can come back, you know what I'm saying, with his victory, you know.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and that's the most important thing is that, you know, you come back safe, and you come back and you learn something.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. You can win all the time, but you know, I know they always say, well, sometimes losing you can learn stuff, but the main thing is just to be a better person.
Yeah.
You know, I love doing this show. I do this show with Mr. Walker. I do it with, you know, Coach 24. And I don't come in to bash people. You know, it's like, oh, this guy did this and, you know, he's a POS, blah, blah, blah. Now, like if the Royals are struggling, I'm going to say, yeah, I'm frustrated, you know, but I'm not going to say that they're worthless and all this because I still love the Royals.
Right.
But I've always wanted to try to keep a positive outcome. And it's really funny because sometimes when you have a show like this, not a lot of people will watch it. They will watch somebody nationwide that will be bashing people all day long, and you'll sit there and watch them. And it's like, you know, that's all right. You know, if that's what they want to do.
Well, this person don't even know them from Adam, but they head over heels. Oh, I gotta watch this interview tonight.
Right.
And then you got, like, you know what I'm saying, you got people that's right around you that's trying to accomplish things and, you know what I'm saying, shooting, you know what I'm
Right.
saying, for the stars with their dreams, and you never, you know what I'm saying, hear nothing. But hey, with that being said, support your local kids with their sports, man. Support them.
Absolutely.
Boxing, football, basketball. Support your local kids, man. That'll help them.
And that's the reason why I had him on the show, because he's a local kid. You know, he's doing something positive in his life, you know, and if a few extra people or a lot of extra people watch him and see him and say, hey, you know, this kid's pretty cool. You know, that's what I want. You know, it's not about me. It's about you. It's about the family. You know, it's just, you know, it's my way of giving back.
Support these kids, man.
Yeah, so absolutely. So we are at the end of Any Given Sunday on KUAW. Nasir Clinton, Daddy-O, Fletcher Clinton, Rip Ruger, and Miss Rachel Clinton, Mama Boss. And, yep, there he is. So if you have one more thing you want to say to the people, say it now.
Believe in God.
Amen. Hallelujah this morning.
And with that, I am Brian Kress, the Awesome Voice, with Coach 24 Darwin Penny and DJ Scatter George Walker. Be awesome, not angry, and you guys have yourself a blessed weekend. Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the best sports show in Kansas City. This is Any Given Sunday on KUAW Radio, where sports come alive.